Good morning to all the ladies and gentlemen. I am Anjali from Malaysia.
I'm Shifa from Indonesia.
I'm Maria from Asia.
I'm Mariam from Egypt.
I'm Rosa from Indonesia.
I'm Firda from Indonesia. Today we are going to present you the drug called IDFA. So, before we talk about the drug, we are going to talk about the disease that the drug are designed for. So this drug is designed for a leukemia. So leukemia is a blood-forming tissue disease that the cell can spread out of the bloodstream and into the other parts of the body, such as the central nervous system and the skin and also the gums. So as you can see, there are 4 types of the leukemia. The first one is the chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The second one is chronic myeloid leukemia. The third one is acute lymphocytic leukemia, and the fourth one is acute myeloid leukemia, which we will be focusing on because this drug is for the AML. So, AML is a very aggressive disease. That means that it grows so fast, and it is caused by there are too many myoblasts, which is an immature white blood cells in the bone marrow and also in the blood. There are 2 types of AML. There is the APL and the non-APL AML. The APL AML is caused by chromosome translocation, which is specifically in the chromosome 15 and 17 because it is involving in the RARA gene and also involves in the, and it is important for the ATRA therapy. ATRA therapy is a drug therapy for leukemia. So the AML, the non-APL AML, which is the drug is for, is caused by a mutation in the IDH2, which is the isocitrate dehydrogenase 2 enzyme. And mutation can occur randomly in the body, and also because it can be also because of environmental factors such as exposure to radiation. So in here you can see that there are 2 pictures that can see this is for the healthy blood cell, and that one is the blood cells in the AML. As you can see in the AML, there are so many immature and abnormal cells. So that's why AML is.
Okay, so for the prevalence of AML has the lowest survival rate among other leukemia types that occurs in adults, and it is estimated that 26.6% of the patients diagnosed with AML will be alive 5 years after the diagnosis. So it's a pretty small percentage, right? And approximately 350,000 people with leukemias worldwide have the AML type of leukemias. And the highest incidence rates occurs in the countries such as United States, Europe, and Australia.
So I'm going to talk about the information about IDFA. IDFA, the generic name is called enasidenib, and the class is anti-neoplastic agents. As you can see, the chemical name is so long, and also the molecular formula. So the price based on FDA is around monthly treatment is around 24,872 US dollar.
So, IDFA is an inhibitor of ID2 isocitrate dehydrogenase 2 enzyme. So it's intended to decrease the 2-hydroxyglutarate and induces the differentiation, the myeloid differentiation.
So the dosage for so we are going to show you guys an act on how the mutation of IDH2 occurs.
Okay. So IDH enzymes function in the cell energy production. IDH2 enzymes is located in the mitochondria, which help catalyze the conversion of isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate. This reaction requires NADP to be converted to NADPH, which is good because NADPH help protecting ourselves from toxic effects of reactive oxygen species. So alpha ketoglutarate is a substrate. It's an important substrate for alpha ketoglutarate dependent enzyme. Because together they will regulate the methylation patterns of the DNA, which is important for the gene expression, especially for the one encoding the cellular differentiation. So in the mutation, the IDH mutated enzyme dimer has a normal copy and a mutated copy. Yeah, and the normal copy will generate the alpha ketoglutarate, but then the alpha ketoglutarate will be kicked out by the 2-hydroxyglutarate produced by the mutated copy. So this will result in the overproduction of the 2-hydroxyglutarate. So the 2-hydroxyglutarate, the overproduction, the excess, will disrupt in the functioning of the alpha ketoglutarate dependent enzyme, because then it will eat the 2-HG instead of the yellow one, the alpha ketoglutarate. Yeah. This prevents the demethylation of DNA, which causes the hypermethylation of DNA, which alters the transcription of the gene responsible for cellular differentiation, resulting in accumulation of immature cells. Yeah.
So now I'm going to talk about the dosage and administration. So IDPA is the dosage form of IDPA is tablets, and the administration is orally, and the IDPA should be taken once a day, every day, and the dose is 100 milligram. And if someone vomited the IDPA, the drug, or they miss it, and also they didn't take it at the right time, they should take it immediately and continue as normal.
Next, I'm going to talk about the mechanism of action. So basically, we said that based on the demonstration, we said that it happens in the mitochondria, is it? So IDH2 is actually important in Krebs cycle, in which it converts the isocitrate from its name, isocitrate dehydrogenase, convert the isocitrate into alpha ketoglutarate. So basically, IDH2 and alpha ketoglutarate are the good guys, right? So, but there are some factors that cause mutation to this enzyme, such as the environmental factors, drug exposures, and also genetic factors. So, when it gets mutated, thank you. So when it gets mutated, instead of changing the isocitrate into alpha ketoglutarate, it will convert it into 2-HG, which is the bad guy, which inhibits which causes the conversion of NADPH into NADP+. In that case, it will increase the ROS levels and also prevent the cell differentiation. Next. So IDPA is actually used to actually inhibit the conversion of isocitrate into 2-HG on this mutant IDH2. So it is selectively acts upon the mutant type of IDH2. So remember in AML, patient, they also have the normal IDH enzyme, but they also have the mutant type. So basically, it inhibits this mutant IDH2, so that isocitrate will not be converted into 2-HG, and yet it will be next slide, please. It will block the cell differentiation, right? So if it blocks the conversion into 2-HG, it will allow the cell differentiation to occur. And then, when cell differentiation occurs, it will allow the immature cell to be converted into the mature. So we don't want AML patients to have high blast counts, which is the immature cells, because that is the significance of having AML. So, yeah.
So now we'll speak about the pharmacokinetics, ADME, which is what the body does to the drug. First, we're going to talk about the absorption. After 4 hours from the oral ingestment of IDIFA, 100 milligrams, the Cmax or the peak plasma concentration reaches 1.3 microgram per milliliter. And for the steady state concentration, which is reached after the 29th day, is 13 microgram per milliliter. The drug's bioavailability is approximately 57%. Guys, are you familiar with pharmacokinetics? So, the drug half-life is 137 hours. So concerning the distribution, the volume distribution is 58.8 liter, and it's highly bound to the plasma proteins by a percentage of 98.5%. The drug is metabolized by N-dealkylation, by liver enzymes, by multiple enzymes, cytochrome P's and UGT. It's excreted mainly fecally, 89%, and 11% renally. The mean total body clearance of the drug is 0.75 liters per hour.
And this is for the adverse reactions. Actually, the adverse reactions categorized into 2 categories. But the first one is the most common adverse reactions is this one, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, increase of total of bilirubin, decreasing of calcium, potassium, and phosphorus level, and also decrease the appetite. And the second categories is the most frequently reported grade 3 and grade 4, such as tumor lysis syndrome, differentiation syndrome, non-infectious leukocytosis. And also serious adverse reactions were reported in 77.1% of patients. And for contraindication of IDIFA, none. And the interactions, for drug interactions and food interactions, is not stated in the source. And for warning and precautions of IDIFA itself, there are 2. The first one is differentiation syndrome, and the second one is embryo-fetal harm, or embryo-fetal toxicity. For the first one, differentiation syndrome, patients treated with IDIFA have experienced differentiation syndrome, which can be fatal if not treated. These are the symptoms of the differentiation syndrome, including fever, acute respiratory distress, represented by shortness of breath, and pulmonary infiltrates, pleural and pericardial effusion, renal impairment, bone pain, peripheral edema with rapid weight gain, and the last one is hepatic, renal, and multi-organ dysfunction. The second one is embryo-fetal toxicity. If the pregnant woman treated or administered with the IDIFA, it can be fatal to the fetus, and it can cause major birth defects and also miscarriage. And for the monitoring,
Prior to the initiation of EDFA, blood counts and blood chemistry for leukocytes and hemolysis syndrome are assessed and monitored at a minimum of every 2 weeks for at least the first 3 months during the treatment. Okay. That is the clinical trial experience. Okay. Safety evaluation of single-agent EDFA based on 240 patients with relapsed and or refractory AML who were assigned to receive 100 mg of dose AE. And then the median duration was for 4.3 months, and the 30th day and 60th day mortality rates observed with EDFA were 4.2%, which is in 9 patients, and 11.7%, which is in 25 patients respectively. And for the serious adverse reactions reported, is estimated from the high percentage to the lowest percentage, which is leukocytosis 10%, differentiation syndrome is 8%, diarrhea is 6%, hemolysis syndrome and nausea 5%, and the least was vomiting and decreased appetite 3%. And differentiation syndrome events is characterized as serious, included hypoxia, pyrexia, respiratory failure, and acute renal failure, and also multi-organ failure. Okay. So overall, from the 214 patients, we found that, the clinical trial experience found that 92 patients required a dose reductions, and the 10 patients out of them need a dose reductions due to the serious adverse reactions, whilst the 36 patients permanently discontinued EDFA due to the adverse reactions, and the common adverse reactions was leukocytosis.
So now we come to the clinical trial or study. This study we found it's made by Celgene Corporation. The design of study is phase 1/2, multiple center, one legal. 2 cohort clinical trial. It's a study that combines a phase 1 trial with a phase 2 trial, because it's a new drug and sometimes they do this. So we have 2 measures for evaluation of the safety rate and duration of CR2 or CRH with the complete remission of the patient with full or partial hematological recovery. And the second one is the rate of conversion to transfusion independency.
For the patients, it involves 911 with remission or refractory AML and IDH2 mutation. And for it, categorized by inclusion and exclusion. For the inclusion, relapse refractory above 5%, untreated AML, MDS, IDH2, gene mutation, and also platelet counts above and equals to 20,000 per microliter and less than 20,000 to 20,000 per microliter. And for exclusion,
patient that is excluded from these trials are patients with GVHD, patient with left ventricular fibrillation, congestive heart failure, and others.
Okay, for the outcomes, primary was the improvement of CRH rate, and the secondary was 14% of differentiation syndrome and more or equal to 2% of hemolysis syndrome and leukocytosis. For the results,
For the first measure, the CR or CRH, they found that 39 of the patients have reached the best achieved goal in 6 months, and for the second measure, which is the blood transfusion dependency, out of the 199, 157 were dependent, 53 of them became independent, and out of the 42 independent, 32 stayed independent. The study is still recruiting, but this is the study by which the drug got its FDA approval. The drug is only available in the US, so it's a new drug, and that's it. Thank you.
Octa.
Can you speak loud, please?
What is the drug pregnancy type?
IDIFA pregnancy type drug X. So it's dangerous to the pregnant woman.
Shaza.
It can be diagnosed with CBC, complete blood count, and a physical examination or medical history, and also through bone marrow biopsy.
I think we'll go like this. Adi.
In AML introduction, you mentioned that there is a RARA gene. What is RARA gene?
So the RARA gene is in charge of the information, the transcription, it providing information for the transcription factors. So transcription is very important for. So they basically play a very important role in the differentiation of cells.
Can you explain more about IDIFA as antineoplastic agent?
So what we read is like it's treating the cancer, the leukemia. So it is called as anti-neoplastic agent, but it is treating for cancer. But
Antineoplastic is
cancer. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Every time you hear antineoplastic is anti-cancer. That's the term.
Sorry, do you understand? Yes, okay.
And can I know what is GVHD?
GVHD is graft versus host disease. Yes. It's actually because AML patient will undergo blood transfusion, right? So sometimes blood transfusion can be a failure because the donor's bone marrow cells or stem cells will attack the immune system of the patient. So that's why it is excluded from this trial, because one of the important thing that we want to because we want to actually study the rate of conversion to transfusion dependence. It means that we want to know whether the patient that undergo blood transfusion will be dependent or in dependence with blood transfusion after getting a stroke. That's why patient with GVHD cannot be one of the patients undergo this trial for.
Honey, is the drug given at the remission phase, so should we wait for the remission phase or give it any time? Because I know AML is like, we need bone marrow transplant, right? Yeah.
Actually, this is IDIFA is designed just for refractory and relapse AML.
Yeah, so the drug itself should not be taken at the remission phase.
No.
So in the adverse reaction slide, there is one that's 43% due to adverse reaction and 5% due to another adverse reaction. Can you explain more? 43% is caused by what adverse reaction? 5% is caused by what adverse reaction? The next page. There was this one.
So this one.
Actually, for the This one, right? I'm mentioning for the 4.6. Oh, you mean these qualifications?
What adverse reaction makes it that you have to stop the dose, and what another adverse reaction makes it that you have to reduce the dose?
No, the one differentiation syndrome, leukocytosis. Yeah, that is the severe adverse reactions that we found from the.
So because of that dose,
Because of the serious adverse reactions that we have. Yeah, we have to change the dose. For example, we need to do the reductions.
so when do we reduce the dose, or when do we interrupt the dose from the differentiation?
When you have to reduce the dose and when you have to stop the dose, right?
Okay, for the stop, to discontinue the adverse reactions. Okay, for assessing this, right? For this first type of adverse reactions, you can do the dose reductions or reduce the dose. For that type, the second type of adverse reactions, you need to discontinue the ADP. And because the second one is the most severe. Okay?
Questions? I want to ask about what you say. You say that if someone takes the dose, then you need to take as soon as possible after they remembered, right? But if the duration between the one that she remembered and the next scheduled dose is like 1 to 2 hours, so he need to take the missed dose or just wait for the scheduled dose, the next scheduled dose?
You have to take the.
If that happens, in that case, you have to take the next dose.
Doesn't have to take the missed dose.
Because then if you take both, the concentration in our body is too high.
So only on the same day that you can take the missed dose as soon as possible. But then if like meal, you cannot take.
Yeah.